Hi, guys, and welcome back to Conversations Over Coffee. Hope you're having a great weekend.
Yeah, what up, peeps? Welcome back to another episode. I am your guy, Chris Warren.
I'm your gal, Denise Warren.
Yeah, figure we do something a little bit different, a little bit of different scenery. We're not in the studio, which we're trying to get that together. We're trying to figure out how it works, how this YouTube thing works. So we just figured we would have a little sit down by the coffee table and just talk about a few things. Today's topic, we'll get into it in a minute, is going to be about friendships. Yeah, what do we think about friendships nowadays, how to navigate through, the life of friendships and past friendships and all that stuff, what it all means. Or does friendships not matter anymore? You know? Yeah, so how's the week been going?
It's been a busy week for me. How about for you?
It's been a fair week. It's getting ready to be hot.
So it started, but it's only going to get hotter.
hmm what is the week gonna be?
100s, 101, 102.
I think in what's that, Wednesday it's gonna be 111.
That's the heat index.
The heat
Yep.
index. Okay.
It's going to be 101, but feel like 111,
Yeah.
which is crazy. We're going to melt.
Yeah, was it officially summer? I feel like it's been summer.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
seems to have gotten hotter earlier this year.
yeah, definitely, definitely. So what's new? Anything new you like to talk about?
Anything? What's new? Well, in the world of TikTok, something I've been enjoying lately is people posting videos with either their child, their pet, their sibling, showing off something that they've done. And before they let them show it, they like give us a threatening warning that they're going to show something and that you better like it. And it's cute. It's menacing but cute. And then the people's comments have really been very supportive and joyful. It's another one of those good things on TikTok, like what I think social media should really be about. So I've been enjoying watching those lately.
Yeah, TikTok is a big business. It's helped a lot of people, financially, stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the thing. Our world of the way we make money is different. That's why I try not to like be a old timer about it, but like, oh, this sucks. It's just the way of life. And this
it's
house,
annoying
yeah, yeah,
sometimes though.
it is. Even the people who have to make content, that's a content creator, it gets, probably tiresome and stuff when you're trying to make a brand for yourself and stuff like that. It's like, you want some weeks just to say, I just want to break. I'm pretty sure all of them are like that. I want to break, but it's like I can't because, I built this, empire, So shout out to all the content creators. Yeah,
Woot
definitely for
woot.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Far as any news that I have is like I'm still watching this Diddy trial, man. I'm watching it a little slower now. It's like because it's coming to the end a little bit, and it doesn't sound good for your boy Sean Combs, man. It's a sad day for his family, his kids. He's got a couple of kids. That's the thing. I'm more worried about. He possibly not gonna be there for his kids. Diddy's probably going to jail.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I haven't seen anything that sounds good, and the lawyers that he has paid for, they're not that good, man. It's like you can't hide the baby oil, man.
But the problem is what he's in trouble for has nothing to do with baby oil.
Mm-mm.
He's in trouble for extortion and racketeering. So I agree he's going to go to jail because he can't not at this point.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's going to be very long because their case about those particular things, the extortion, the racketeering, nothing has come out really strong about that. I think
yeah.
they wasted a lot of time um, butchering Cassie with her revealing all the sexual escapades they went on,
Oh
which
man.
really had minimal to do. They could have talked about the buying the prostitutes and taking people across town
Yeah, just
without
leaving it
doing
there.
all of the
They're
details of the
they're
stuff they
they're just
did.
they have brought
They were trying to
out
murder his
they
character.
everything. You talking about anything he done. It was like I saw him kick a dog in 1993 and they're like, "Oh, he's this guy. You kicked the dog." Yes. It's like everything. And it amazes me how this guy's been in the limelight so many years that there was no cracks, and it's like, how much is it? It's true. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Now he's done something. Don't get it twisted. He's done something.
Well, do you think Diddy's going to get on the stand? Like,
No, they said
no,
no. They said
no.
absolutely. They already, went on here and
Is
said that.
anybody going
Yeah,
to get on in his defense directly, or is it all just?
it's his lawyers. I mean, when you pay supposedly his what's that lawyers? It's almost like their payday is what's that almost close. It's close to $1 million a day,
Well, right, but
something like that.
so the defense puts up people that says all the stuff you've done
Hmm.
wrong, and then the are no,
Something like that. We're not
yeah,
lawyers,
we're not
people.
lawyers.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
The
So
prosecution puts
yeah.
up stuff about all the things you did wrong, and then defense is supposed to defend you, and they're supposed to have
Hmm.
people that talk about how great you are,
Yeah.
or try to debunk all that stuff. And it's like, where's that?
Well, he might, but nobody except Kanye West,
Kanye.
and Kanye was there every bit of. I think
5 minutes or
I
something.
think yeah,
8 minutes.
it?
I think
Yeah,
it was 8 minutes. Or
yeah, it
something.
was something crazy, and I'm like, okay. It's like everybody from Mary J. Blige. Yes, I'm saying everybody's name. Who else? Khaled, Rick Ross, all these guys.
Jay-Z, all those
Jay-Z,
people. Who's
Ashton
defending
Kutcher,
him?
all you guys was at the party, hanging out with Puffy, and none of y'all have, come up and say, hey, this is our friend. We're not going to talk bad about you. That's your friend, but y'all have done some dirt too. So everybody's quiet as a mouse. The industry is quiet,
Yeah, it's interesting.
Who else, man, could possibly come up there and say nice things about them?
J-Lo, she was with them.
J-Lo's not
years.
saying nothing. People keep saying that.
But somebody's got to defend his honor in some way.
I've never once thought J-Lo was going to like say, boom, come up there, because J-Lo knew Puff was bad off the gate, like not off the gate, but a little bit early on before their relationship ended, and she's like,
Well, she could be like, I didn't know there was no freak offs when I was around.
No,
I don't know.
No,
but,
she's like, I'm gonna go back to the white boys, and that's what she did.
God be with him.
Yeah, good luck with him.
Yep.
Okay. Now we're supposed to be talking about friendships, and we got on a tangent there about Diddy. Friendships. What did we talk about? How did we start it when we was riding in the car? Where were we going?
Oh, we were talking about people that you meet at work that you think you're friends with, and you think it's gonna, grow beyond work, especially if you guys don't work at the same place anymore. But then it's like you don't even cross paths with them in the store anymore.
Yeah, that's why I said I work with a couple of guys and gals at this, what's that restaurant? What's that here in downtown Raleigh? Called Dave's Dumplings. Go check them out. They have delicious good food. I think it's good.
We're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored whatsoever. They're not giving us a dime. But anyway, I worked downtown with those, and I met a group of people. Half of them was like in college, and half of them was like, there was only one that was the same age as I was, and he was finishing college. And we would every other maybe Saturday go to Players Retreat, which was next door. That's a bar, great bar.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but it's what is it? What's that state? What is it? A little hub for it's been around for years. What do you call it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's been around when you were in college, so it's just like it's known. It's a great little sports bar. And we would go there and just have, good times, have a few drinks and, hang out, have some food. And we all just grew, a relationship, but that's where the book stops. I'm thinking, okay, these are going to be my friends for years, many years to come. And then COVID hit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when things probably took what's that dark turn. It's like everybody just completely lost and was contact with each other. And we had all of us had each other's phone numbers and stuff like that. I think one time in COVID, we all had a virtual party on FaceTime, where I think it was like how many of us? Maybe like 12 or 15 of us, FaceTime each other. And after that, it's been how many years since then? And a couple of years.
4 maybe.
4, yeah, 4 or 5. And I've not once seen any of them. I've talked to
couple of them.
probably Josh and maybe a few of them, but anybody else, it's like they just disappeared. That's why I'm like, okay, did people disappear? Did they physically disappear? Did y'all not live in Raleigh before, or?
Well, and like we said, half of them college students, they're already transient. They might not
Mm-hmm.
even be from this area, or this is just a stop on the way to something
Yeah,
else for
yeah,
them.
and a couple of them, I was like, okay, I know, like that. But some of the what's the older ones, I'm like, okay, it's just like I said, it bothers me. I talk about it. It bothers me a little bit. I was like, wow, what happened? Am I not that cool at
I don't
all?
think it has anything to do with you.
You
Like we,
know?
we mentioned before, in this day and age, it, social media has made it so that you can connect without having to actually physically be around other people. So,
Yeah.
and you make friends and drop friends, and people are your friends that you've never met in real life. And so the idea of friendship is just very convoluted now. And there's the value is not the same because the investment is not the same. I've got friends from middle school and high school,
Oh yeah,
and there were
them
groups
the
of
good
us, but
ones.
we're down to two now. But
Yeah,
those are
that's
my
pretty rough.
ride or die. But we were friends before there were cell phones and social media, where you had to go
Mm,
to each other's house and pick each other up, and we got to school together. We stayed close most
mm.
of our lives, so I think I'm lucky in that I've
Oh yeah,
been able to keep those two
yeah,
ladies
yeah.
around for a long time. But other girls I went to school with, or other people I've worked with, even people I work with now that I've been working with for 20 years, they're my friends. I love them, but I rarely see them outside of work.
That, that
It's
that's almost a creep factor to me.
it is, but
I'm
it
a,
doesn't feel. It's like
I'm
I
like,
don't know. It doesn't feel creepy.
to me it does. I'm like, do we live in a matrix? It's like you only pop up at work. I don't see you grocery shop, and even then, when we all hung out, after work, it's like I never came in contact with none of. I just now thinking of it, I was like, I never see any of y'all niggas in the grocery store. Walking your dogs anywhere at a gym. I was like, and I go these places. I'm like, where are you guys at?
Somewhere else.
Yeah,
Even the
they just
other day,
disappear.
when we were in line for the watermelon lady, not sponsored, we
Mm-hmm.
saw my friend that I went to camp with. I used to go to her house like every day during camp, but we went different places, went to schools and had different lives. And I, we didn't have a falling out. We just moved apart. And I have her phone number on the fridge. I still haven't called her. That's on me.
Yeah,
that's kind of poopy. I should probably
yeah,
call her.
yeah. I miss those old school, friendships. It's like I told you before. It's like I had a quite big group of friends when I was in what's that high school. And then slowly it fell off, and then it's like the death of friends, and then finally my last was that friendship of 20 something years, that finally,
Maybe it's
dissolved.
a pause.
No, I don't. It's not a pause. It's in with it. It's ended. And it's like I'm fine with that. The people that matter or the people that are around you, your family. You know, like I said, and the new group of people I have in my life, they matter. The friends now and the new relationships I'm establishing, and plus these people are more mature. That's one thing I would say. The group. Shout out to the squad. You guys know who you are if you're watching. We're not gonna say any names, but if you're watching this, you know who you are. I'm looking at you, D. Yeah, I said it, D. If you're watching this, I'm talking to you. But those people matter. The most. I guess friendships are made to be broken. Supposed to be. Those are kind of expendable.
Well,
I
and
guess.
and it's hard to put your heart into something and not have it reciprocated. And
Yeah, yeah,
how many people have done that before, and so now they're like, never mind, I'm not even going to bother.
yeah.
And
That's
unfortunately, you meet them
mhm.
post those bad times
that
too.
that's the biggest thing is why my last friendship. I'm like I don't think you don't think of me like I think of you. So that's when
It's
it's a problem.
hard.
That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it becomes a problem. I start dissecting in my head. I'm like, hold up, you know, I was never your equal. So okay, let me take myself out of the situation.
Well, and I hope, unfortunately, they realize how much they really lost in
Well,
having you as a friend for so many years, a loyal and true friend.
Yeah.
non-judgmental
Yeah.
friend.
No hate, still or anything. Whatever has been, said words have been thrown. It's like, I don't, hate that person. I can't. You were my life, so many years. It's, possible for me to hate you. I could dislike a whole bunch of stuff about you, but it's time to move on.
Right.
Like your mom said,
Nobody's perfect.
like my mom said, if they don't pay your bills, your car note, this, and that, put food on your table, but she was a little rough. Our parents, I don't know if your mom was like,
Oh,
like tough
she
like that. My mom was like, yeah. My mom had a talk with me. She's like, are they doing this, and this? And I'm like, no, 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 no. They were like, it doesn't matter. Keep pushing, you know. And that sounds hard, but that's one thing I appreciate from my mom. She was a single mom, and she's like, okay, I got two knuckleheaded kids, boys, and it's like I need to make them tough. And it's a hard for a mom. All the
Oh
moms,
yeah.
they're like, I'm not supposed to do that. Like,
One those are your
yeah,
babies.
yeah. Mom's like, I don't know how to raise a freaking boy. You know, yeah,
My mom was more like enjoy them while they're here because sometimes people are only meant to be your friends for a season.
yeah. And you know what? I wish that could have been incorporated. My mom would have said something to like that too, because it probably would have made more sense off when you're younger. You know, and it's like we're growing up in life and thinking all these people you meet them in school, or elementary school on up to college. I mean, high school, and you're like, these are my friends, for years. Yeah, we're gonna go to college. I know this is gonna happen, so we're gonna be away from each other for years. But you're like, man, after we graduate from college, we're gonna hook right back up. No, absolutely not. Only the diehard people. It works with diehard people like that. You know,
My ride or dies.
you know. Shout out to the ride or die people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to give your squad a little shout out. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that, definitely, friendships and stuff like that. And it's like I always joke about it. I'm like, dang, I'm officially not a cool person
You're
anymore. I wasn't extremely cool, you know, or anything like that. But it's like now you could really say, dang, I used to say, dang, I'm not. But it's just people.
I was never cool.
People, I wouldn't say I was like, just dope. No, I was like, when you're 16, 17, you think your shit don't stink. You got a few friends, you're like, I'm cool. And really, you're like just a small fish in a big
Oh,
pond.
I knew I was just a little bubble in the pond.
Yeah, like that, definitely. But yeah,
On that same topic, though, we both talk about friends, what are friends going to look like for our son? Because people
it's
are,
different, man.
they're, yeah,
It's different.
he has friends at school, but people don't. They don't ask to do play dates or,
No,
they don't even have birthday. I mean, we're guilty of that too. We take the cake to school and be like, "Happy birthday!" So
beep beep. But no, it's like the funny thing is, it's like no, it's. I guess in that sense, everybody can be blamed. I try not to be that person. It's like, but people are like so shifty when it comes to friendship. We're like, hey, yeah, our kids like each other, man. Let's link them up.
well,
Give me your number, and they'll take the number.
I
And
gave that lady my number because she was going to take her son bowling for his birthday, and she said Dylan
no,
was his friend.
absolutely
Never
nothing.
called
No,
me.
nothing.
Never called me.
My barber, I love her to death. That's why we probably connect. That's probably why I attached her. She's like I said, we're like brother and sister. I told her that. But it's like, I remember when she moved over here and she was like, hey, yo, like she's coming here. She's like, where the kids at? And Jasmine's a little bit younger than her. Jasmine's like, I think just what's it,
Don't
30?
tell her age, honey. She
Yeah.
might not want you to put that
Well,
on the podcast.
yeah, well, sorry. But yeah, we'll say she's in her early 30s. But anyway, she's like, yo, where's the kids at? And I'm
They're all
like,
in the house on
I'm
Roblox.
like, you tell me where they're at. She's like, you live here longer. I'm like, I do not know. And she's like, well, if your son wants to come over, he can come over,
I mean, I hear kids playing outside a little
Hmm.
bit down the road, but it just sounds like I don't know if they're having fun or if they're fighting. It's a lot of screaming, and I
Yeah,
don't trust people. That's probably
yeah,
part. Maybe that's the thing. People just don't trust other
yeah. And
people
we and
in
we
this day and
and we
age.
don't live in a bad neighborhood
No,
whatsoever. Like, this is the what's that suburbs. very much.
But we'll have to figure that out because I definitely want him to have friends, and maybe when he gets older and he can actually talk on the telephone or arrange some plans. But
No.
he's happy to give people his Roblox name and keep it pushing too.
They
Until he sometimes asks to go to the playground.
They
to
won't
play.
be any telephone talking. They'll be like, man,
Texting.
Me.
They'll use the hologram on their watch.
Yeah, because we're like that. I'm like Tony Baker. I'm bad for that. Yes, I own a cell phone, but don't call me because I'm like, what are we talking about here? You could have just texted me.
You don't even talk to me. I remember when we first started dating, we would be on the phone
Well,
for hours. Now you're like, nope, text me. I'll see you when you get home.
You're like that too. You're bad for that too. You're like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, text them. You're like, okay.
At work, I'm done talking to people. I want to talk
it's a weird thing, man. It's like it's like I can say, it's like I wasn't, a super big talker when the days of just a telephone was.
You didn't get on the phone with girls in high school and be like, what you doing?
Only hearing.
What you watching?
Here and there.
What you doing this weekend?
It's like only here and there. I was just like, just come over. Why are we on the phone?
No, we'll talk on the phone. Stay at your house. My mama don't like boys.
my mom didn't like anybody coming over there. She's like, who's this girl sitting here? I'm like, it's my friend. She was like, she's got to go. My mom only liked one girl, and that was like Ashley. Yeah. She was like, oh, Ashley wants to come over? Yes. Definitely. Good times, man. Good times. So, do we have to talk about anything else, guys? Thank you guys for
sticking with us.
Showing up to another episode. We're trucking along. We'll get better in this whole podcast thing. We just did it on the whim and said, hey, let's throw our little feet in the pond, a big pond. Actually, there's a lot of content creators up here.
We're definitely a little bubble in there too.
Oh yeah, definitely. But like they say, the YouTube space that takes time. That's a slow burn. Definitely. You want to shout out Heather's podcast? You should. Give them the hand.
Cooking the Books with Heather.
Cooking the Books with Heather. If y'all want to support another content creator, please support Cooking the Books with Heather. She's got a good thing going over there. Some good eats.
Mm-hmm.
Good eats. Some good recipes, man. Y'all missing out, man.
We're still waiting on that Indian buffet.
Yeah, man. That's coming. She's what's she doing? I think she's doing another series, another book. So
she's got a ton of books.
Yeah, so she's going ham, man. I think she's monetized now, ain't she?
I don't know.
I think if not, so. She's there. Almost close. There. Yeah, she's very tipping. She started from the bottom. Now she's what?
She appreciates any more watch hours, though.
Yeah, more watch hours, y'all. If y'all are watching this, go over there. Get your little recipe about a pumpkin pie or something.
I don't know if she's done pumpkin pie.
But she's doing eats over there. Support those guys. Yes, her and her husband, they're trucking along. Yep.
Occasionally her son guest stars.
Yeah. Is he the guest chef? He's the guest chef over there. Yeah.
Budding chef.
Yeah, so if you like that good old cooking the books. It almost says when you say cooking the books, it's like I'm almost they like burning the books before the feds come.
That's what they used to say about people doing fraudulent stuff in the county.
Cook the books, man.
It's cookbooks. She's cooking the recipes out of the cookbooks.
Yeah, they're not doing anything dangerous over there. Any illegal mob ties.
Nah.
But thank you guys. If you do like what we're doing over here, please like and subscribe. And come and hang out. We're a little short. We're only 20-minute episodes, maybe 30. We're not keeping y'all here that long.
Nah, we know you got stuff to
do. And if you have a idea for an episode we should come up with, let us know. Put in the comments. Hell, email us. Yeah, we got an email. Yeah, we got stuff. Anything else?
That's all I got today.
All right, thanks guys. We appreciate you. Later.
Bye.